Hi everybody, today I'm going to show you how to make Daffy Duck. I'm going to make him exactly like this. And to let you know that there are approximately about 115 black bands, there are about 100 orange bands, and a single white band in the neck area. I will be using two 9mm pony beads for the eyes. If you don't have pony beads, this is something that he'll look like with the bands for eyes. I am going to use one loom, and our loom is going to be in its original position with the arrows facing down. I'm going to show you how to do the body parts and show you how to attach. And we're going to get started with the arms. Now before we go down the loom, making his arms, we need to make his fingers. You can do this part or not. If you choose not to, you can just minus this piece out. What we do for the fingers is we're going to make 6 of these. And I'm going to show you how to do 2. One with the hook and one using the loom. Now if you're going to use the hook, all you're going to do is take a single black band and go around your hook 4 times. So this would be 1, 2, 3, and 4, and just sliding this on a single band. So just pinch and slide on. And you can put that in the middle and then put to the side. If you want to do this on the loom, all you have to do is take a single band and go down, just putting 6 of these just down. But if you're going to do one at a time, you're going to go down once, I'll just move that for now, and take a single band and just cap it 4 times. So 1, 2, 3, and go around 4. Taking your hook, just reach in, moving your cap band out of the way, and loop up that single band. And that will give you the same effect. And you can just remove it and put to the side. So you need to pause the video and make yourself a total of 6. Now we're just going to do the arm part and attach the fingers. So using some black bands, I'm just going to put these to the side for a second. Getting some black bands, we're going to go down the loom 6 times using double black. So I'm just going to go on the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now taking one of the fingers, we're just going to put this on our hook. So just reach in and grabbing one loop and then putting the other loop on, and you're going to slide this at the end. We're going to put a total of 3 of the fingers on. So that's 1, grabbing another one. I'm just going to face the first one in the towards the center of the loom, and the other one I'm going to put on and then face it towards the bottom of the loom, and putting another one on my hook. Just going to turn my loom around a bit and slide it on and then face it to the outside, to the right part of the loom. Now you just have to reach in and loop up. So reach in, grabbing your bottom bands only. You don't want to grab the fingers, and loop all the way to the top. And remove off the loom. So just reach in and just remove off the loom. And you can store this at the bottom of your loom. So you can pause the video now and make yourself another arm. So now you should have 2 arms. Now I'll be showing you how to make his leg and his foot. I have made one, so you're going to make this one and then pause the video to make another one. Switching to our orange color bands, I'm going to use double orange, and I'm going to go down the right 6 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now taking double bands, we are going to have to make the foot. So we're going to count from the top center peg and count to the 5th one and start from there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So attaching from your 5th down to the 6th. And we're going to go down 2 more times in the center. So that would be a total of 3. Your middle peg should be, of the elastic, should be just lower than your right side. So when we close it off now, taking double bands, we're going to go from the center up to the right. And your loom should look like this. We are going to take a single band and cap the end peg in the center 3 times. So push your bands down, take a single band, and cap it 3 times. So go around. This would be 1, 2, and 3. Now what we're going to do is just push these bands down here because we're going to attach holding bands. We're going to take a single, give it a stretch, doubling it, and we're going to do a triangle. And we're going to start at this top peg here at the elastics in the center, and we're going to make the point go towards your right. Taking another single, we're going to make another holding band. So stretch, double, and your top part of your triangle will be facing the left. So it should look like this. We're ready to loop up. So grabbing your hook, reach in at the center, moving your cap bands out of the way, grabbing your top 2 bands, you might want to hold your cap bands down, and loop to the right. Now I'm just going to loop up these bands in the center. So reaching in, loop up. You're just grabbing the bottom 2, don't grab your holding bands, so you're going to move this out of the way. Reach in and stop there. I'm going to loop up the 3 bands, 1, 2, and 3, and stop there, and bring my center bands over to the right. So just reach in at the bottom here on your right, moving your bands out of the way, and loop up. 1, 2, and 3. Now you're going to reach in the center and grabbing these bands in that holding band and just remove off your loom. Give it a stretch to the peg, to your 4th peg going down on the right. Sorry. And place them on. And now loop up the rest of the way. So reaching back in. 1, 2, and 3. Now I'm just going to reach in at the top here and remove the bands gently with my fingers here. And we are going to use the bottom part of our loom so we can store these till we're ready to use. So please pause the video and make yourself another foot. Now we're going to be making his body, and we are going to use our black color. This is where you're going to need a single white if you wish to attach this to the neck part. So I'm just going to place there for a second, and I'm going to start off with 3 black bands, and I'm going to start at the center peg and go down once. Excuse me. Now taking your hook and that single band, and we're going to wrap this around our hook 3 times. So 1, 2, 3. Grabbing 3 of your black bands, we are going to slide this band on those black bands. So support with your finger, pinch and slide on. Now you're going to attach this to your loom going down in the center. We are just giving him a longer neck. Now taking double black bands, we're just going to attach the shoulder area now. So I'm going to go from the center down to the right, push down the center, taking double bands and go from the center down to the left. Now we're going to take, using double bands throughout here, we are going to go down the right side 4 times. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. On the left, going down 4 times, 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're going to close off the bottom, double bands from the left down to the center and the center to the right, up to the right. Now what we're going to do is taking double bands, I'm going to go down on the right once and on the left once. Now I'm going to do this part, which is 2 bands on the sides here, like on his black part right here, these extra bands right here. You can leave this part out if you wish. All I did was taking a single band, wrap it around your hook 3 times. 1, 2, and 3. And taking double bands, we're going to slide this band on. So just pinch and slide on and attach to your loom going down once here on your right. I'm going to do the same thing on the left, taking a single band and wrap it around your hook 3 times. 1, 2, and 3. Taking double bands, we're going to slide that single on. So hold it with your finger and pinch and slide on. We're going to attach this here on the left side of your loom. And now what I'm going to do is attach my arms and the legs on. So reach in, and what you're going to do first is I am just going to take one here, and I'm going to show you that they're both in the same direction. We need to turn one the other way. So if it's on your loom, you can just reach in from the bottom and it would automatically turn. Or if it's off, you can just turn it around and one will be your left side and one will be your right side. You don't want them going the same way. So I am just going to take this left one, from the top, and attach this on the left side. And now taking the other one from the top and attaching this on the right side. So when you're looking at them, you'll see that each one is going out to the sides. Now taking your arms, I'm going to remove one off and attach this on my 3rd peg going down on the left, so at the shoulder area. 1, 2, and 3. The other arm, remove and attach this on your right. Now I'm just going to use the bottom part of my loom right here, and I'm going to make the tail now. So we're going to use double black bands, and I'm just going to go below my foot on the right. So on the right, just go down once. Taking double bands, we are going to go from the right down to the center, and then center to the left. Now I'm going to go down using double bands on the right and go down once. Double bands, I'm going to stretch from the left all the way to the right. This is what you should have so far. I'm going to push down these bands here on the left, and I'm going to cap that 3 times. So 1, 2, and 3. I'm ready to loop this tail. I'm not going to remove it off the loom just as yet. So reach in, moving your cap bands out of the way, grabbing your top 2 bands. They are going to all the way to your right. And now I'm going to loop up the center. So just reach in, grabbing your bottom bands here, and loop up 1, and bring that to the second peg in the middle, sorry. Now I'm ready to loop up the right. So reach in, loop up 1. We're going to reach in and grab these bands and leave it there for a second. I'm going to fill in the middle here, all the way to this peg here, the second last one here, and I'm going to attach the tail. So using double bands, I'm going to go down 1 in the center, 2, 3, and 4. Now we're going to remove our tail, so grab your hook, reach in, and remove off the loom. You should have this. I'm going to attach the first 2 loops and the second 2 loops at the bottom here in the middle. So just wrap it around your peg here, the next 2 loops there. We're ready to attach holding bands. So grab a single band and we're just going to go below the arms and make a triangle. Again, another triangle, so that's 2, 3, and 1 more, 4. We need to cap this end peg in the middle, so grabbing a single, we are going to wrap it around 3 times. 1, 2, and 3. We're ready to loop, so we're going to start in the center and loop up these section of bands, this one, in our tail. We're going to reach in and move our cap bands out of the way and grabbing our top 2 bands, which should be your tail one, and loop up once here in the center. Reach back in and grabbing your next top 2 bands, which are going to the right, and then reach back in, grabbing your last 2, and they're going to the left. We are going to loop up the legs now, so we're actually going to start on the left side and we're going to loop up all the way to our 3rd peg here in the center. So I'm just going to put my legs kind of straight and, before we start to loop, we have to put another single band on this band when we're looping. I apologize. So grab a single band if you had done this already and wrap it around your hook 3 times. 1, 2, and 3. Now, we are going to reach in and grab those black bands, and just before we loop around the peg, we are going to slide them on. So just pinch and slide on and loop forward. And I'm going to go all the way up. So just reach in and grab your bottom bands, moving your holding bands out of the way. And loop up to the center here. I'm going to do the exact same thing on the right. So grabbing a single band, wrap it around your hook 3 times. 1, 2, and 3. Reach in, grabbing your black bands and slide this on and then loop forward. Looping all the way up. Just grabbing your bottom bands. And going to the center. Now I'm going to loop up the center. So we're just going to reach in. We've already looped up the 1. And now, if you have an extra white band, we're going to need 1 more. I told you 1 and I'm so sorry. I'm going to wrap this around my hook 3 times and then slide this onto this neck area. So taking a single band, wrap it around 3 times. 1, 2, and 3. Reach in and grab those 3 bands and slide your white band and loop up 1, and now reach in and grabbing the last 3. He's ready to come off, so I'm just going to use my hand and part of my hook to remove him off the loom. At the top, I'm just going to slide my hook in and now fully remove him off. He's done, and I'm just going to put him to the side. I'm going to use the bottom of my loom. Now we're going to be doing his face and the beak. So we're going to start off using black bands and double bands. And what we're going to do is go down twice on the right. And we're just going to start right at the top on the right and go down. We're going to go down one more time. We're going to do the exact same thing on the left. Double bands, 1 and 2. Taking double bands, we're going to go down 3 times, black in the center. 1, 2, and 3. So we're not closing this off because when we finish looping, we're going to loop these, bring them over to the center, and the left over to the center. Now taking orange bands, double bands, we're going to go down twice on the right and twice on the left. So 1 and 2, and on the left, 1 and 2. This is what you should have so far. We're going to go down once in the center. And now we're going to close it off, but we're going to go from the left up to the middle and the right up to the middle using double orange, just like this. And then right to the center and push down. What we're going to do now is take a single band, black color, and we're going to do a holding band in a triangle on the second pegs going down. On the third pegs, what we're going to do is take double bands, black, and from the third peg on the left, we're going to go up to the third peg going down in the center. On the other side, on the right, from your third peg up to your middle third peg. I'm just going to fix these. Now taking a single orange, we're going to do a triangle on your fourth pegs going down. Now we're going to do the eyes. So I will be using pony beads, but I can show you how to do the eyes with bands. And I would use the white, 2 white bands and 2 black bands. To do the eyes and bands, I would take a single band and wrap it around your hook 4 times. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And taking a single white, wrap it twice on either side. 1, 2, 1, and 2. The other eye, wrap it 4 times. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And a single white, twice on either side. 1, 2, 1, and 2. And now taking a single black band, you want to slide these eyes on. So pinch and slide on, and pinch and slide on, and you can attach on your third pegs going down from your left to your right. I will be doing the pony beads, so taking a single black, pinch, and slide on. And attaching on my third pegs going down. And just push down. Now I'm going to be doing these extension pieces at the sides here. And I am just going to use the bottom part of our loom. I'm just going to take double orange bands and go down twice on the right, and I'm going to do this again on the left. So we'll do one side and then the other side. So just going down twice here on the right. I'm going to take a single band and I'm going to cap this end peg twice. 1 and 2. I'm going to push down and I'm going to do this again. 1 and 2. We just need to do this one more time. So I am just going to go down on the left. You can go below. So going down twice, 1 and 2, and taking a single band, we're going to cap the end twice. 1 and 2, and one more. 1 and wrap around twice. We're going to loop these up, and then we're just going to leave on the loom for a second. So reaching in, you might want to hold your capping bands down so they don't come off. They're quite loose. And I grabbed a cap band, sorry. I'm just going to put this back for a second. Very easy to do that. And loop up, and on the other side. So I'm going to remove one off the loom. I'm just going to turn this a bit. I'm going to take these capping bands and I'm going to attach them on the bottom part of the right side, and I'm going to attach at the peg above. So grabbing these loops, I'm just going to loop them on. And I'm going to grab the other one. So reaching in and doing the same thing, grabbing the capping bands, little circle here at the end, and attach at the peg above. Now I want to not have this loose, so I want to attach one of these single bands from this teardrop at the bottom, and I'm just going to wrap it around this fourth peg going down in the center where we attached. So give it a stretch to the side, and you're just going to grab the bottom portion of your teardrop and just grab a single band and just wrap it around your peg. I'm going to do the exact same thing on the left. So grabbing from your bottom portion, so this is your top, and just any single band from the bottom and wrap it around your fourth peg going down. So you will not have a space in here. Now we're ready to do the beak. I'm just going to use the bottom portion again, and we're going to use double bands, and we're going to go down 3 times. So I'm just going to start, and we're going to go down total of 3. So 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to close this off right now. So from your right down to your center. I'm going to go on the left, so right across. We are going to go down 3 times on the left. So that's 1, 2, 3, and closing it off from your left down to your center. Now we need to go down 4 times in the center, double bands, so we need to start at the peg above. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Push down. We are going to attach holding bands, so grabbing a single, and we are going to make a triangle, starting at the pegs below this top portion. Again, another triangle, and one more triangle. We need to cap the end, so grabbing a single, we're going to cap it 3 times. 1, 2, and 3. We're going to loop up the beak, so reach in, moving your cap bands out of the way and grabbing your top 2, and they're going to the center. Reach back in, grabbing your next 2, they're going to the left, and grabbing your last 2, and they're going to your right. Now it's just looping straight up, so I'm just going to go on the right and loop up. in the center and on the right. Moving these bands out of the way. Do not grab the holding bands. Now, we are not going to remove this quite yet. We want to attach the body. So reaching in, grabbing your body, and we are going to attach them in this peg here in the center. Now make sure that your tail is facing the bottom part of the loom. You don't want to have him backwards. Just stretch, open the neck here, and attach to your loom. I am just going to loop these 3 sections, these bands, this band, and the center. Just reach in and you're going to grab these bands first and loop them down. So just grab them and loop them down to this bottom part on the right. Reach back in and grab these bands and loop them down. Now reach in and grab your center bands and loop up once. And just give it a push down. We are going to remove the beak now. So we are going to remove section by section. So taking your hook, reach in on the right, the middle, and the left. Remove off the loom. And you can just fix your loops around. And you should have 12 loops around your hook. The 4 loops are going to go on your 4th peg going down on the left. Your next 4 are going in the going on the center, 4th peg going down, and your last 4 loops are going on your 4th peg on the right. So I'm just going to move these bands out of the way. And you want to make sure that your bands are down. You don't want all this coming off. So just grabbing the 4 loops, stretch, and remove off your hook and push down. The next 4, give it a stretch, slide it on the center, 4th peg, and now the last 4 loops, stretch it to there. So this is what you should have. Now we're ready to loop up. So I am going to loop up the right, and I'm going to stop where these eyebrows are. This is supposed to be eyebrows. We are only going to grab the bottom bands here. So reach in, and you can loosen up some tension, grabbing your bottom 2, and loop up 1. Reach in and grab these bottom bands. And now what we're going to do is loop up these we're going to go on the left, We're going to grab these bottom bands. So reaching in, grabbing these bands and loop up 1. And reach in, grabbing the bottom bands. And now we're going to reach in the center, moving your eyes out of the way. We're going to grab these black bands and loop up once. Now in the center, this is where we're going to grab the black bands and we're going to loop them down to the right. So grabbing your top 2, we're just going to bring them down to the right. We're going to reach in and grab these bands and loop them to the left. So just reach in the center and bring them down to the left. Now we're going to loop up on the right all the way to the top. So reach in, moving this holding band out of the way, and on the left, just reaching for your bottom black bands, making sure that you don't lose those eyebrows, moving your holding band out of the way. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring these left bands I'm going to take them off and I'm going to stretch them to the center. I'm going to do the exact same thing on the right. So just remove off the loom and bring them to the center. And now where you're going to start to loop is on your third peg going down. We need to finish off the center and loop up. Now I'm going to use 3 bands and do individual slip knots. 2 will cut and 1 will save as the slip knot holding kind of band at the top. So just reach in and grabbing 1 and do a slip knot. Bring it to the side, grabbing another one and doing another slip knot. Put on your hook, grabbing one end and sliding it over, and 1 more. Now we're ready to remove off the loom, so I'm just going to use my hook and some of my fingers to help me here. And this is kind of what you should have. You can bring your eyes to the front, fix the side part of his beak, and I am just going to bend his legs forward, put them flat, fix his arms, and you can play around with his fingers by bringing the capping bands kind of to the center to fix his fingers. And one of these slip knots, you can choose one to hide. So I'm going to choose this one and I'm going to hide it in the back. So I'm just going to reach in through the center of his head and grabbing one of the slip knots and just hide it towards in the back. You will need a marker if you're using the beads, and I'm just going to color them in. For the eyes, just little dots, little circles. And I'm just going to cut these top bands, not too long and not too short. And for the beak area, this cap band that you have here, I am just going to take it and bring it so that it's kind of bent in the center. So just keep turning it. And he's pretty much done. The tail you can kind of bend towards up in the back and fix these bands here if you need to. And he's done. I hope you liked him. And I hope you enjoyed Looming with Cheryl. I will see you next time with another one, so please subscribe down below. I have a lot more designs to load. Thanks. Bye for now.